Hello everyone, my name is Kumar and welcome back to our channel Kumar Programming. This is the 28th part of this series where we are building an e-commerce project as online shoe store in Next.js 15 and React 19. In this session, we are going to work on place order section where we are going to create a order and order items model, and then we will migrate these models to our database table, and after that we are going to create our schema for order and order items. And once we will be ready with our model and schema, then after that we are going to start working on our place order page. Now let me quickly show you that how our place order page looks like in production. So this is our production environment. Let's add some item to the cart. Add to the cart. Now let's add one more item to the cart. Add to the cart. Now we have added two items to the cart. Go to the cart now. Now if you see here, we are having two items in the cart. Now proceed to checkout. Once proceed to checkout, since already I am logged in, so I redirected to the shipping address page. Now let's continue. Now here user can select their payment method, PayPal, Stripe or cash on delivery. And this is the page that we have built in our previous session. And now once user will click on continue, it will redirect to the place order page. So see, this is our place order page where user can review their shipping address and they can review their payment method, and also they can see what all the items that they are going to purchase. And here they would be having options to edit their shipping address and edit their payment method as well. At the right side here we are showing items price, tax price, shipping price, and at the very bottom we are showing the total price which needs to be paid. And once user will click on this place order button, then order is going to be created and the details is going to be stored inside our order table. Now see, once user will click on place order, then it's redirected to the order page and this order ID generated, and here we can see all the order details, and user will be having the option for the payment for their preferred payment method. Alright, so in order to create our place order and order page, first of all we need to create our Prisma model for order and order items, and then after that we are going to migrate our Prisma model to the table inside our database, and after that we will be creating our schema for order and order items, and further we will be start building our place order page. Alright, so now let's start. So here inside our application, first of all we will be creating our models. All the models are creating inside our schema.prisma, and right after this we are going to create our order and order items model. So here model order, and inside this order model, and here we will give the list of all the order fields, and inside this order model we are going to have field ID and user ID, right? Since this would be the order ID, and here we have user ID, since this order table is having the reference of user table, so here we are having our user ID as well. After that we are going to have our shipping address which would be type of JSON, and we would be having the annotation as db.json. And the next field which we have payment method, which would be type of string. And next field which we are going to have as payment result, which would be type of JSON, and this payment result will be updated once we receive the data from our PayPal or Stripe, either success or failure. The result is going to be stored inside our payment result. And the next field which we are going to have our list of all the prices. So here we have our items price, total price, shipping price and tax price. So I'm going to copy all these fields over here as well, since we are going to maintain all these price inside our order. And after that we are going to have a field as is paid, which would be type of boolean, and we would be having default value as false. Default value false, right? In this is paid field we are maintaining if this particular order is paid or not. And next field which we have is paid at, which would be type of date time and would be optional, and we would be having our annotation db timestamp. Okay, and similarly we are going to have another field as is delivered, where we are going to maintain if this order is delivered or not. This would be type of boolean, and the default value we are going to maintain as false. Okay, and the next field we will be having as delivered at, which would be type of date time, and it would be optional, and we would be having annotation db timestamp. Okay, and the next field which we are going to have as created at, in order to maintain our timestamp. And this order model having a relationship with our user table, right? So we are going to have this relationship as well with the user table. And once we have created this, our relationship, we must have to define this order inside our user table. So here inside our user table, here we have to define order as order array. Okay. Now our order model is ready. And the next model which we are going to create as order item. And now here we are going to create our model as order item, model order item. Okay. And inside this, we are going to define all of our field. So the very first field would be order ID. It would be string and annotation would be having db.uuid. Okay. And this order ID is having the relationship with our order table. So whatever the ID which we have here, we are going to maintain over here as well. And the next field which we are going to have a product ID, and this would be also a string and annotation would be having db.uuid. Okay. Since this both order ID and product ID, we are getting the reference from order and product table. So we need to create a unique ID for this order item. So here we are going to create the unique ID by utilizing our both of the key as a composite key here. So here we are going to define our @ID by placing both of the fields order ID and product ID inside this array. And it's going to define a composite key, right? And we can alias to this composite key as map, and here we are going to give the name as order items underscore order ID underscore product ID underscore primary key, right? Let's add this order item to our workspace setting. So now we will not see this warning here. So now here we have created a composite key by utilizing our order ID and product ID for this order item table. Now here we are going to take another field quantity, since we are going to maintain the quantity for our order items, and that would be type of integer. And also we are going to maintain price. So here we have another field as price, which would be type of decimal, and we would be having annotation db.decimal 12 to, right? 12 places we have before the decimal and 2 places we have right after the decimal. Okay. And after that we are going to have our item name as string, and we are going to have slug name as string, and we would be having image from item, that would be also type of string. And also if we have taken this order ID and product ID from order and product table, so we must have to define the relationship over here. So we can define our relationship as order, and here it would be having relationship with our order model. And here we have to define our annotation as relation, and inside this relation we have to pass our field reference and action on delete. Okay. So here we have our fields, and fields we are going to pass our order ID. See here, this is the order ID which we are going to pass from here, right? And second thing which we have to pass our references, and references would be ID, right? And the third thing which you have to pass on delete action, and the action would be cascade. Okay. And similarly we have to create for our product. So here we are going to create for our product, and this would be product model, and relationship here we are going to have as product ID, and reference would be ID, and on delete we are going to have cascade. Okay. Now once we have defined our relationship over here, then we must have to define these relationship inside our order and product table as well. So here inside our order, here we are going to define order items, and this would be order item array. Okay. So now see this error gone for this order item. Now similarly we have to define for our product table as well. So we are going to copy this, and we are going to define inside our product table as well. So here we would be having our product table. See, this is our product table. So we have to define this relationship here as well. Okay. Now our error should be gone. See, now we have defined our relationship with order and product table over here. Now our both of the model, order item and this order, are ready. Now we are going to migrate these models to our database. So now let me open a terminal. Here we have a very simple command. First of all, we have to generate our client. Whenever we are doing any changes in our Prisma file, in our model, we must have to generate our client, right? So the very simple command we have npx prisma generate, and it is going to generate our client. See here, Prisma client got generated, right? And once our Prisma client is generated, then after that we can migrate our model to the table, right? So very simple command. Here we have npx Prisma migrate dev, and here we have to give the name of our migration. So I'll give here order and order items. Okay, let's press enter. Now it's going to migrate everything behind the scene from model to tables. Here we are seeing a message as migration. This add card was modified after it was applied. So we need to reset public schema, and it's going to be delete all the data. It's fine since we are in development environment. There's no issues. Let's proceed. And now it's applying the migration. Now our migration is completed, and that we can see here inside our migration folder. And if you see here, we have our order item migration, right? And inside this folder, if you see here we have our order table. See, this is the create script for order table, and this is the create script for our order item table. Okay, and here we have all of our foreign key references. Okay, and same thing that we can verify by using our Prisma tool. So let's verify this. Here we are going to use our very simple command as npx Prisma Studio, and from here we can see both of our tables inside our database. Now our Prisma is running. Now let's see. Since we have added our references, so our all the data have been deleted. Now if you see here, both order and order item, both table are created over here. See, this is our order table, and here we have order, user ID, shipping address, payment method, payment result, item price, total price, all the fields that which we have defined inside our model, everything is coming over here, right? And if you see, this is our order item. Here inside our order item, we have created our order ID, product ID, quantity, price, name, slug, and so on, right? But if you see friends here, all the data have been deleted from our user table and product table. So might be if you have already registered, then your data have been lost from here. So whenever you are trying to log in, might be you won't be able to log in. So you must have to register before you log in. Okay. Now quickly let's seed our product and user table. So if you remember that in our here in our DB table, here we have our seed.ts, right? Where we are seeding our data from sample data, and this is our sample data. See, this is our sample data for admin user and user. Okay, and here we are having all the product. Okay, so now let me quickly seed our data. Here let me open another terminal, or let me first close this Prisma, and now we need to seed our data. So we have a command as npx tsx /db /seed, right? Since we have this file name, see here inside our db folder we have seed file, right? So we are going to execute this. Let's press enter. Now it's going to seed our user and product table. Here you see our database seeded successfully. Now if we try to log in, first now let's execute our application here, npm run dev. Now our application is running and we should be able to log in. Now let's see here, this is our local environment. So now here our application is running. Let's sign in. Here we have our user ID as admin@admin.com and password 123456. Let's sign in. And now let's add some product to the cart. Add to the cart, and this item is added to the cart. Now let's add one more product. Add to the cart. Now let's go to the cart. And here if you see, we have added these two items in the cart. Now proceed to checkout. And here we have to provide our shipping address details since all the data have been deleted. KUMAR Programming address 123 street city any city postal code AW1 through 3 RT and country any country. All right, now let's continue. It should redirect to the payment method now. So now it's redirected to the payment method, and once user will click on continue, here we have given validation payment method is required. Now select this any one of this payment method, select PayPal and continue. Now it should redirect to our place order page. So now it's redirected to our place order page, and this page which we are going to build in our next session. And if you want to see in our database, here inside our user table, let's refresh this. So now inside our Prisma, you could see this user table admin. If you see here address got changed. This is the shipping address and this is the payment method, which is PayPal, right? And if we change this method from PayPal to Stripe, now change this PayPal to Stripe and continue, then our database should be updated with Stripe. Now let's refresh this. And now we would be able to see our payment method as Stripe. See, now this payment method got updated as Stripe. All right. So far we have created our Prisma model for order and order items, and after that we have migrated our both of the models into the table in our database. Now further we are going to create our insert schema for order and order items. So here inside our application, all the schemas are defined inside our validator file. So here validator and validator files is there inside our lib folder, right? So here we are going to create our insert schema for order and order items. Okay, so here export const insert order schema, insert order schema equal to z dot object, and inside this object we are going to pass all of our field, right? The very first field will be user ID, which we are going to have as string z dot string, and we are going to have min length as 1 since it would be a required field, right? And here we will give message as user is required, right? And the second field which we are going to have all the price, so we are going to copy all the price from our insert cart schema. So these all are the price that which we are going to maintain inside our order schema. So here we are going to use all these price, right? And we have the type for each and every price is currency, since already we have defined our currency earlier. And now we are going to define our next field as payment method, right? And this payment method would be type of string. So here g dot string, and we can refine as our chaining method here, refine. And inside this refine, we are going to pass our callback function. And here we are going to pass data inside our callback function. And here we are going to check if payment methods, and this is the array that which we have imported from our constant file, this payment method dot include, and if it's include data, then it's fine. Otherwise we are going to give the message as invalid payment method. Okay, message invalid payment method. All right. Now the next field which we are going to have as shipping address, since we are going to maintain our shipping address for the user. So here shipping address, which we are going to take shipping address schema, shipping address schema. If you see here already we have created our shipping address schema. See, this is our shipping address schema, and we are going to use this schema here inside our shipping address field. Okay, so now our insert schema is ready for our order model, and similarly we are going to create our insert schema for our order item as well. So now let me create here one more schema as export const insert order item schema, order item schema, right, equal to z dot object, and inside this object we are going to give all the properties. And the very first field which we are going to have as product ID, which would be z dot string. Okay, and the second field will be slug, which would be z dot string. Okay, and the third field would be image, which would be g dot string, and the next field would be name, z dot string, and we have price would be type of currency, and we have quantity would be type of z dot number. Okay, inside our insert order item schema, if you see here we are having only product ID, slug, image, name, price, and quantity, since we are going to insert these fields only, right, inside our order item. And here if you see inside our order table, we are just adding those fields which we are going to insert inside our order table, right? But if you see here we have inside our schema Prisma file, here we have other fields as well, right, like ID, user ID, right? So those fields that we are going to define inside our type, right? So now let's quickly create our type as well. Here inside our types index file, here we are going to create our type. We are going to copy this, and here type for order item. Okay, and this export type would be order item, and here we are going to infer our insert order item schema, right? Just now we have created insert order item schema, and let's import this from our lib validator, right? Now next type which we are going to create for our order. Okay, so this would be type for order, and here we are going to use our schema as insert order schema, right? And in this order we are going to add other fields as well, right? We are going to add other fields, like we have id, which is type of string, and we have created at, which would be type of date, and we have each paid, which would be type of boolean, and the next field which we have as paid at, which would be type of date or null, and next field which we have is delivered, which would be type of boolean, and delivered at, which would be type of date or null, and we have order items, which would be type of order item array. Okay, and the next field which we have user, where we are going to have name and email, and name would be type of string, and we are having email would be type of string. Okay, so now we are able to create our order type as well. So in this order type, we are going to take the field from this insert order schema, as well as the additional field which we have inside our order model we have added here, right? Now let's quickly see that what we have done so far in this our session. So first of all, in our schema Prisma, we have created our order model as well as order item model, right? These two models which we have created, and after that we migrated these two models to our database, right? And then we have created our schema inside our validator file. So here see, we have created our insert order schema as well as we created our insert order item schema. And from these schema, we created our types for order and order items. So here from insert order schema, we infer that and we created our order item type, and from our insert order schema, we infer it and we created our order type, and we added additional field over here, right? Which is not going to be inserted through our insert order schema. All right. Now in the next session, we are going to start working on our place order page, and we will create our place order form, right? So that's all for this session. And at the end of this video, friends, if you found this tutorial helpful, do me a favor, like this video to support me and my channel, and subscribe my channel if you haven't already done so far for more technical videos like this, and share this with your fellow developer who might find it useful. And if you really love my work, then consider buying me a coffee to support for more free tutorials. Link is given below in the description. Alright, that's all for the day. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Till then, take care and keep learning.